This is the Wimius P62 Pro, a smart 1080p projector that takes your entertainment to the next level. It's officially licensed by Netflix, giving you one-click access to Netflix, Prime, YouTube and much more. When it comes to sound, this projector fills a room. With its built-in 36-watt speakers and Dolby audio support, the Pro now features HDMI ARC and CEC support, and gaming has now been improved with 60Hz support, so gaming will be a lot smoother over its predecessor. Let's now dive in and put this projector to the test. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm super stoked about reviewing this new P62 Pro because the original P62 was a phenomenal machine for the price, and today it's been one of Wimius's most well received models. In fact, the P62 actually has the longest sales cycle of any of their models, so I hope the P62 Pro continues in its footsteps. Okay, so it seems like the P62 Pro is using exactly the same shell as the original P62, which would kinda make sense, saving some money and keeping the price low to consumers. Even the lenses look identical, and on the front here is the autofocus camera, which now corrects the image to fit your projector screen automatically. On this side, this is where the projector expels the heat to keep it cool. Then we have two speakers on the back, two USB ports and two HDMI ports, with only port 1 supporting ARC, but both do support the CEC function. On the side here is the power input, and behind this grille is a removable dust filter so you can keep it nice and clean. On the bottom here we have 4 rubber feet, and under these feet are M5 mounting holes, so you can mount this projector onto a ceiling. And we can mount it onto a stand using the 1/4 inch tripod thread in the middle. And on the top of the machine we have an OK button, a back button, directional keys, an input source button and a power on button. In the accessories box you get one power adapter, one HDMI cable, one remote control, one cleaning cloth, 2 dust swabs, one user manual and an after sales card. So on the front of both machines they do in fact look identical, and round the side we have exactly the same heatsink vent, and on the back they also look the same, except the P62 Pro has white USB ports instead of black. On the side we have the same power input and the same dust filter vents. And on the top of the machines they have exactly the same button layout with the same Wimius branding in the corner. The only other difference that I could see was the P62 Pro was missing the AV input. As for fan noise, the P62 Pro gave the exact same decibel readings as the original P62, but the pitch in fan noise on the Pro is definitely lower, so it has less whine noise compared to the original P62. When you first power on the P62 Pro, it will automatically focus and Keystone to give you a perfectly sharp picture. So I'll try and go through this setup as fast as I can, but you have to scroll all the way down through these terms and conditions because it won't let you skip it. And now we're at the Wi-Fi stage. This projector supports the 2.4 and 5 GHz network, so I'm going to select the 5 GHz network for better speed. And when you've connected to your Wi-Fi, it will ask you, do you want to set up Netflix? But I'm going to skip it for now, and I'll show you how to set up Netflix later on using your mobile phone. Now let's finally correct this image so it fits my projector screen. Now all the toggles are turned off on first setup, but if we turn all the toggles on and press this Keystone button on the remote, the projector will automatically align the image to fit my screen. So watch how good this is. And now the P62 Pro is going to look for all corners of my screen, and bam, a perfectly lined image. I must admit, I do absolutely love that feature, and I'm glad to see more projector companies are finally implementing this feature into the software. So by having all the toggles selected, when we first power on the machine, it's going to do everything for us and correct the image automatically. We also have obstacle avoidance, so if there's anything in the way, the projector will know this and it will correct the image accordingly. Then we can manually correct the image ourselves using this setting, which is the 4-side correction setting. And then there's 4-point keystone where we can adjust all 4 corners just like this. We can also zoom the image in and out just like this, which is basically reducing the image size by 50%. Then we can obviously manually focus the lens if the projector doesn't get it right and you want to fine tune it. I'm not going to do this because I want the image to stay sharp whilst filming. And these are all the picture modes that's available, which is standard, custom, cinema, sport, vivid and high bright. Now obviously you're not seeing the picture change much here, so I'll show you them later on in the video with a proper image on screen so you can see what effect these picture presets have on the image. Then we have all these sound modes to choose from. In this section it tells us what software we're running and what the serial number of our projector is. Then we can select a sleep timer, so have the projector turn off after a period of time. Then we can select different screensavers. Then we can do an over-the-air update or do a USB update. So that's most of the projector settings covered. We also have a web browser built in, which in my opinion isn't very intuitive to use, especially with the remote control. So I highly suggest plugging in a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse if you want to surf the internet. And this is the Netrange App Store, which has a ton of applications to choose from, although it's not quite as good as the Play Store. It's missing quite a few applications such as Disney, iPlayer, ITVX, Channel 4 and 5, along with many others. So I still highly recommend plugging in a Fire Stick, Google Chromecast, Roku, Nvidia Shield or any other smart device. This way you have the best of both worlds and you're not missing your favourite applications. As you can see here, the image quality really speaks for itself. The first thing that stands out is that amazing sharpness. Fine details are rendered with real precision, giving the picture a crisp, clean look. The colours are equally impressive. They're bold, vivid and well saturated without ever looking overblown. It gives the image a real sense of vibrancy and depth, making the picture feel alive. What really elevates the experience though are the black levels. Darker scenes maintain excellent contrast with shadow detail intact. You don't lose any information in the lows, and that creates a cinematic balance between bright highlights and deep, rich blacks. Although the combination of the sharpness, colour and contrast make the projector deliver an image that truly pops. With this kind of image quality, you just really wanna sit back and keep watching. Now, for full honesty and transparency, I did encounter a few issues when casting content to the projector over Bluetooth. I was getting a lot of audio dropouts and the picture wasn't smooth as it should be. Now, this might just be an issue with my P62 Pro, and you may not encounter this at all, or it could be interference from my devices around my household. So let me show you this now. So just select the P62 Pro in your Bluetooth settings, and a message usually pops up saying, do you want to start the connection? Just press start. And now we've connected. As you can see, swiping about on our phone, everything looks smooth as it should be. But I'll now load up YouTube and try and cast something to the projector, and you will see what happens. And as you can hear, I'm getting a lot of popping and crackling from the speakers, and the picture isn't as smooth as it should be. So to use the Bluetooth speaker function, go over to My Apps, select Bluetooth speaker option on your mobile phone, pull down from the top, go to the settings, select Bluetooth option, scroll down till you see the P62 Pro. A Bluetooth pairing request will pop up, just select it and then you should be connected. Now unfortunately for me, I was also getting a lot of audio dropouts in the Bluetooth speaker function. Now, I did contact Wimius about my issue with the audio dropping out, and they did offer to send me another projector to test. But I thought it was important to my viewers and for all the people watching this review that I evaluate and review the first product I receive. That way I can be 100% honest with you all and let you know my first experience with the machine. And that's the way you would all purchase this product anyway. So if there's any issues that I face, you also may face the same. But the company did say if you find any issues with the audio dropping out, to contact them directly and they will help solve your issue. I also found that when watching content on a HDMI source such as my Fire Stick, the image was considerably brighter than the built-in operating system. Now this is not a major deal and can certainly be fixed in an update. I also let the company know about this issue and they are almost certainly working on a fix, as essentially this machine is actually underperforming in terms of brightness whilst using the streaming apps on the operating system. So rest assured they will definitely be working on a fix for this issue. To sign into Netflix, just open the camera app on your phone, point it at the QR code on the screen, confirm it's the correct code and select Sign In. And now we're all set. I really love how simple and easy that is to set up. There's nothing worse than putting in long passwords on a fiddly remote control. Now I wish I could show you some content playing on Netflix, but unfortunately I'm not allowed due to copyright reasons. But I had no issues with audio dropping out when streaming content from Netflix or Amazon Prime. All the content that I've watched whilst testing ran smoothly without any issues. And when signing into Prime Video, use exactly the same process as you did for the Netflix application, and it will sign you straight in. And as you can see, the app is nice and smooth with no lag or delay. Everything is running smoothly. So this is just a small test with the lights on and off. And as you can see, the image is still viewable with the lights on, but we do lose a lot of colour and contrast as you would expect. So for the best image possible, I always recommend turning the lights off if you can to get the best image quality out of your projector. To work out the Ansi Lumens, I projected a pure white image at 100% brightness. I divided the projected area into 9 different zones, then took light meter readings in each zone. I added up all the figures and divided them by 9 to get an average measurement. I then multiplied that average by my screen size in square meters, and these are the results that I got, coming in at 422 Ansi Lumens in standard mode. I also did the same test in the brightest mode, and this came in at 500 Ansi Lumens, which is practically double of what the Wimius P62 achieved in my testing. So the P62 Pro is certainly a massive upgrade when it comes to brightness output. And here is the same test with the original P62, so you can compare them in a side-by-side comparison. As you can see, the Pro was 253 Ansi Lumens brighter, and I also worked out the Ansi Lumens in each picture preset. So let's finally put them side by side so you all can see the difference. Now I really hope this image comparison is really coming across okay, and you all can see that the P62 Pro is definitely an improvement over the original. Because as you can see in this scene, the Pro has more shadow detail than the P62 because it's missing some of the blue background here. So for that reason alone, the Pro is definitely worth the upgrade. But even to this day, the P62 still has an amazing image. And to be honest, it's still one of my most favourite machines. Screen uniformity was also pretty decent on this machine. The darkening you do see in the corners is mainly from my screen not being perfectly straight. Now sharpness is where the P62 really shines. I had razor sharp text from corner to corner with no fuzzy or blurry edges. Everything was tack sharp. This is probably one of the sharpest projectors that I've tested on the channel. Now obviously sharpness is going to vary between all machines, and I really got a good example here, but I am very impressed with the sharpness level on this projector. Now as you can see, the CEC function is definitely working as I'm using the original remote control that comes with the projector, which is working on my Fire Stick. And here is those picture presets which I said I was going to show you earlier, so you can see what effect they are having on the image. But as you can see, we now have the HDR10 version of that preset because we're watching content on YouTube. Now when I was gaming, I noticed a massive improvement over the original P62. As much as I love the original P62, it's never been good for gaming. So I'm really pleased to see that the P62 Pro is a lot more capable when it comes to gaming. As you can see, we're speeding through the streets here with no lag, no stuttering, motion is fantastic, everything is running smooth as butter. I'd say the P62 Pro definitely feels twice as fast when it comes to input lag than the original P62, but we'll definitely check that out later on in the video. I also had no issues when playing a first person shooter. I still got quite a few kills and I could easily spot and outwit my enemies when gaming. Now I did feel the input lag was more when playing a first person shooter game, but it was still perfectly playable for casual gaming. Now obviously you wouldn't want to play on a projector when you're playing competitively, that's where monitors come in. But for casual gaming, this projector did just fine. It's probably somewhere in the 70 to 80 millisecond range, but we'll test that right now against the original P62. And as you can see, the P62 Pro cuts input lag by half, which is fantastic. Now as for thermals, I had this projector on for around 5 hours straight when filming and testing the product, and as you can see the temperature is barely going over 50 degrees, which is pretty impressive considering I've had this projector on all this time. This projector is also great for those movie nights outside. Now I've got this connected to my power station and it's drawing around 70 watts of energy. As you can see, I've got the P62 Pro set up on my camera tripod and I'm shining it on my balcony wall, which is painted in magnolia, so it's not actually perfectly white, but as you can see it's still producing a lovely image that's certainly enjoyable to watch. Now after a while you may encounter some dust that's landed on the LCD, especially being outside like I just have. Now on a black image this may show up as white spots that kind of glow on dark scenes, and on a pure white screen this will show up as black spots. Now this projector does come with dust swabs to clean the dust from the LCD, but I don't really advise using this method because you may damage the LCD or the special film that's inside the projector. So I'm going to show you the best way to deal with the dust. It takes 2 minutes and it's pretty effective at tackling dust. Just remove the label on the bottom of the machine, pop off the door, tip the machine upside down so the door is facing the floor, and blow air into the machine using a rocket blower, which can be purchased from eBay or Amazon, and you will see the dust get dislodged from the LCD and fall out of the bottom of the opening. As you can see, a little speck of dust right there. Now I'll just load up a black screen so you can see the dust has been removed completely. There are no white glowing spots on dark scenes now, so I'll just show you this up close so you can see. Normally you would see them lighting up right around this corner, but as you can see they are completely been removed. And now I'll show you a white image, and as you can see the hair fibres have completely been removed. There are no black spots on a white image anymore. Now I've put together just over a 5-minute montage of clips, so I really hope you find this video helpful in deciding what projector will be your next purchase. Now that's enough from me. I'll leave you with the rest of these clips playing so you can decide for yourself which projector looks best. If you found this comparison helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe if you want to see more head-to-head battles and tests like this one. Thanks for watching, enjoy the montage, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.